From a bird's eye view, we see an ancient and beautiful elven court. A stately queen, in robes of multi-hued green and carrying a twisted staff, is holding court in front of her courtiers and advisors. She has a pleasant expression on her face, exposing nothing, though, of what she truly feels. Your Majesty, the southern border with Tanglebriar is the quietest it's been in decades. Now is the time to focus on the threats to the west. We must deal with the growing threat of the Whispering Tyrant. Murmuring from the assembled courtiers suggests support for this proposal. Your Majesty, let the other nations contain the Whispering Tyrant. If the Tanglebriar is quiet, now is the time to purify it, push it back. Let us reclaim what was once ours for the glory of Kyonin. Once again, the background noise from the crowd rises in support, but grows louder as sides are drawn and arguments begin. A pointed glance from the Queen silences everyone. 4 elven ladies, dressed in similar colors as the Queen near the rear of the room, are watching carefully to see who might be instigating versus simply stating their opinion. Your Majesty, Eravashnial is overdue. Please send someone to find him. The room remains quiet. Your Majesty, Dalamayan is soon to return to Kyonin with those heroes. How do we know their achievements are real? Any fiend or cultist can call themselves a demon lord. Who's ever even heard of this Urkel or Tsar whatever mock? The background rumble begins again, though carefully staying below the level that would draw the Queen's ire. Those dressed in wizard's robes or priestly garbs are noticeably silent and exchange pained glances at the ignorance of others. Your Majesty, the death barges come ever closer to our shores. Our ports need protection. Again, murmurs of assent without argument. True unease seems to fill the room. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. The petitions continue on for most of the morning before the audiences end. The Queen sits at her desk and pens a message before summoning an aide dressed as a falconer. We pan away, and we see 7 people on a journey. And to recap some of this entire journey, let me share this now. 3 elves dressed in traveling attire, though colored nearly identical to the Queen's robes, and 4 more varied individuals, all riding horses, looking comfortable with one another, but tired. All the signs of a long journey are writ loud across their cloaks and faces. The 4 uniques have traveled long from their home on Chakakoth Isle, where they encountered the remains of a demon lord. They made their way from there over to Magnamar by boat, with one of theirs nearly losing their life and coming back slightly changed. From there, they enlisted aid from the Pathfinder Society, followed an extraplanar pathway all across the continent to end up far over in eastern Iobaria, to meet with an expert on the containment of evil artifacts. But once again, they got ensnared in the diabolical plans of demon lords, one Urkshul, intent on opening a new world wound. They proved successful once again in stymieing the plans of demons, and their new guide, one Dalamian of Kyonin, has enticed them to return with her to Kyonin for consultation and documentation of their stories, and hope it can help the elves' ongoing campaign against Tree Razor. And they have reached the border of Kyonin at this point. Dalamian is talking to you all. Ahead of you, you see an odd landscape. Rolling hills, scattered flowers and trees, and then all manners of artwork in small viewing arrangements as far as the eye can see. There's a cluster of 3 paintings, watercolors by the look, of delicate flowers. Further away, 2 gowns made of the finest silken lace, one the deepest blue of the night sky, with constellations in sparkling gems, and one with the brilliant fire of the rising sun. Off to the left, 3 vases are filled with flowers that look freshly picked, arranged by a masterful hand. Dalamian turns to you. My friends, welcome to Kyonin. We still have days of travel to reach Ayadara, and your well-earned rest and celebration. But for now, we can relax. I am in lands where I am known. My presence will protect you from the overly curious, or those with prejudice against outsiders. For now, we travel through Rivathnil, a graveyard, repository, and museum of the arts. When an artist leaves such a legacy that none may match, their works are displayed here under magical protection, for all to see and be inspired by. Let the beauty seep into your souls to help heal the ravages of the journey. She turns to a red-haired, elvish-looking halfling. Dezi, my ever-curious friend, what do you see here that inspires you?
Oh, I love these landscapes. They're amazing. I've never seen any paintings like this before. I mean, we have things from all over. I mean, I've read a lot, but this artwork is very different from any style I've seen. And these lands, oh my, they're quite the quite the different from where I've been so far.
And what
Yep,
do we
and
see? What is Dezi?
Desi is a halfling, a particularly lithe halfling. They're actually part elf, and they carry a crossbow, as you can see in the figure here. They've got a holy symbol that's glowing around their neck. It appears to be a road winding into a rising sun. They've got bright red hair, probably a bit unkempt, and a small fox at this point is traveling by their side, and you probably see him talking to the fox occasionally. You're not quite sure if it understands, but he does seem to view it as a companion.
And we did get a bonus hero point for Libby that I have just awarded from the audience. Dalamian turns to Vanarel. I know you've been worried how your scaled countenance will be accepted here. But look, over at that painting of Eregnius, Herald of Apsu. Look at the attention to the scales. They are beautiful. Or was your eye caught by something else here?
Vanarel will turn his attention to the painting of the Herald, taking it away from some of the landscapes that incorporate the sea. And you'll say, yeah, you're right. It's something I've grown into more. I can appreciate. I think I can appreciate all of it. But his eyes do drift back to those landscapes of the shoreline.
She chuckles a
Vanarel
little. Oh, go ahead.
Vanarel is a Vishkanya with Dromar heritage. It's not the way he started this journey, where he was Elven. That was his ancestry, but due to a mishap, quite severe mishap, on a boat of all things, considering his love of the ocean, and a favor from the Pathfinder Society, he finds himself in this body now. A little more scaly, but growing into it. He had some troubles for sure, getting used to being in this new body, but he's adapted. I like to think he's overcome a bit, and even though he's technically speaking no longer elf, he does feel a little bit like he's home again. He was never around in this particular part of the Kyonin forest, but he's approaching home a little bit.
I see your eyes still long for the sea. Do you think you'll return there when our business here is done?
One day, I like to think so. I don't think my time on the waves is over just yet.
She nods and turns over to another one of your party. Oh, has something caught your eye, Libbiel? This is the most awake I've seen you in weeks. Would that you'd have been half this awake when we were fleeing from those Mavani bandits.
You had that handled. I I was just taking notice of all this architecture of the old civilizations around here. Some of it looks somewhat abandoned. Some of it might have had recent inhabitants. I I am probably most drawn to those. Um, I I have gotten very used to studying old civilizations. I think I'm quite fond of it these days. I uh I want to know more about what sort of peoples had lived in this land.
Elves. Elves as long as we know. But these pieces of art, they come from all ancestries. This was founded, after all, by by the elven spouse of a human artist of such creativity that none have matched since. Anytime we have an artist of that type, their works are entombed here under these protective seals so that they may last the ages, still while being exposed to the sun, the moon, all of nature. And she'll turn to Daegron. Daegron, you can relax. You've been on high alert this whole time. You don't need to protect us now. Please, tell me, what do you see when you look across this field?
It's, you know, and he's kind of like looking around a little bit after this long journey. I don't think it's unreasonable to keep an eye out for demons with how many we've had, but I see what you say. I see these beautiful vistas. They represent maybe freedom I crave. While I'm here for the heroics and making a name for myself, I want to see the world more than anything. This is a fantastic place. I don't think I could ever have imagined back on Chakakoth Isle. And he kind of like hefts this large axe over his shoulder. Daegron is a full-blooded orc um, with very a very scarred kind of visage, especially now as they've gotten into more and more scraps, I guess you could call them, with some unsavory demons. He's quite muscular, has wearing half plate and leather that seems to be oiled, very practically suited for a kind of coastal community. Maybe a demeanor to him that has gotten a little more twitchy and paranoid over the last few weeks of their travels. But I think there is a very maybe visible breath that he lets out as he kind of looks around and just kind of takes in the beauty that is Kyonin and the entrance to it after the horrors they've seen.
And I realize we didn't get a chance to hear Libbiel's description from Libbiel, so here's that artwork again if you want to describe your own character.
Libbiel is a sleepy elf with blue skin and blue hair adapted from the sea. She dresses practically in a comfy way. She looks like she's always about to pass out. She's always accompanied by her companion, Bumblebee, who sleeps on her hat all the time. Bumblebee is covered in scripts and runes that are impossible to decipher, but in a distracting way. Um, she has a mark on her face from her um, patron, um, the inscribed one. It's you don't really get to be able to read it as well, but you have a feeling that it's an onomatopoeia for sleeping as a joke. And in her hands, she holds a jar with a flower growing out of it.
And so Dalamian leads you across this art gallery graveyard. It is also where those artists are entombed, but it seems like it's more famous for the art they've assembled to represent their creations in life. You do see a couple of caretakers who look like they're more interested in just ensuring the art is well maintained and preserved than anything else. You do see a couple of other elves, maybe some gnomes passing through as well, here to inspect and be inspired by the art. But the groups move in small, very deliberative clumps. Uh, they have not trampled any paths between, so this whole place is a huge field of rolling hills and these small clusters of art. But after traveling for probably a good hour at a slow pace, you're still on your horses, but she's leading you on a deliberate path to avoid causing a lot of attention, avoid making a scene, but just slowly moving through this part of Kyonin. You reach a well-maintained road, and a raptor's cry above draws your attention. Dalamian holds up a hand to stop you all, as a large eagle drops a spear. The spear lands with a thud a couple yards away, and Dalamian approaches it and unties a ribbon that was securing 2 sheets of paper to the shaft. He scans the first one quickly. While she is doing that, what are the 4 of you doing?
I think Vanarel is just watching the bird overhead. Just wondering how many other messages are delivered in that way.
Yeah, the bird turns around and speeds off on a straight line to the northeast.
He's probably making sure everybody is comfortable with the journey so far. It's been a long journey for us, and he wants to make sure that, we're prepared for the road.
I'm not familiar with Kyonin, but many messages delivered by spear via eagle, Dezi?
I don't know. I've never been here. I mean, there's writings about it, but they don't talk much about their delivery system.
Hmm.
Excuse me, is that typical?
The other 2 elven guards with you, not Dalamian, who is still reading the message, they mention only in times of grave imports, when a message is important, time is important, but we cannot spare magical efforts for even faster or more direct communication. Within our lands, this does allow very rapid messaging when needed, but it is not used lightly. And Dalamian will pick her head up from the message. My friends, it seems we have a change of plans. Tensions are high in the capital, and words of your accomplishments are being hotly debated by multiple factions. It feels like a surrogate for their usual debates, and likely to blow over soon, and we can get on to the research and celebration we invited you here for. In the meantime, the Queen has suggested we make our way to Greengold instead. It's one of our largest ports, on the banks of Lankencarthen, and a mix to all kinds of people, where you will stand out less, and you'll find more varied cuisine and clothing to entertain yourself while we wait for the tension to die down. The Queen feels you'll be able to relax more there, and I agree. She sent a scroll of teleportation to get us there immediately. She must be truly worried. She does suggest I teleport us to Latana Beach and travel the last couple of miles the normal way to avoid making too obvious an entrance. She frowns for a moment. Everything she says rings true, and I trust her completely. However, she is known for always thinking multiple steps ahead, and I'm left trying to figure out what she isn't saying. I expect there is some problem at Greengold she hopes you can solve, but can't put that in words. And she's trusting me to clue you in so you're not surprised or feeling used. I just wish I knew what the problem was so we could prepare more. I know I just told you all to relax, and now the universe is making a liar of me. But, are you ready to go to the beach?
Sure.
It'd be nice to be waterside again. It's been a bit.
You're
I
telling
only had
me.
a relaxing day at the beach, though.
You could let me nap in the sun a little while. That'd be perfect. Remind me of home. What can I recall about green gold?
Give me a society check on that.
Let's... Nope, I should have rolled that properly
That's fine.
hidden. Oh,
That's
well.
fine though. Yes, you have heard of green gold. It is arguably the second or third largest of the elven cities in Kyonin. Of course, large cities are rare. Small settlements are much more common throughout the region here. Elves like to have that lighter footprint on the land. But this is their largest harbor. It is right on the shore of the inland lake here. It is known for being the most multicultural of the elven cities. All kinds of really mixing ancestries. Elves are only barely a majority in the city, almost even a plurality. So it is much more multicultural than much of the elven cities. Not exactly like a immigration part, but it just has become that way over the years. So all manners of things you can find here. The shops are all over the place. It's become a very vibrant music scene as a result as well, with mixing styles and art. And it's that's probably what you would know. Are there other things in particular you wanted to remember about it?
In particular, I would like to know if I know of any famous tavern that we could stay at, or perhaps, if I could think too hard about it, why it would be politically advantageous to this be the where we be.
You're not remembering the names of any taverns offhand, but in terms of why it would be politically advantageous, I mean, it sounds like the stated reason, as in the missive that she was explaining. It's a place where outsiders fit in more and will draw less attention, and it's a way to keep others maybe from seeking you out earlier, is your guess.
Understood.
But you're not sure what problem they may have that she is sending you there undercover effectively to deal with. The cover story makes sense to you, but you don't have an idea what this other aspect could be.
Okay, I'm satisfied with that.
But it sounds otherwise you are ready to teleport. She does look at you all and says, the location of the beach she has picked might be important. I don't want you to arrive, weapons drawn, spells blazing, but be prepared. I know we said to be relaxed, but there might be something happening already. The Queen is known for such foresight. And let me move you to a new map.
Dezi attempts to straighten their curls, which probably does absolutely nothing for their hair, but they try.
Yeah, Daegron doesn't pull his axe, but he kind of like loosens his arms up a bit. And he's like, well, it wouldn't be very fun if we showed up and nothing was happening.
Okay. You've arrived on a stretcher beach, and you hear and see many unexpected things here. Immediately, right around you as you teleport in, almost too close for comfort, you see 3 or 4 large catapults being hastily assembled. You see squads of elven knights trying to build these catapults. And as you look across the water, you see 4 barges covered in a thick black purple smoke moving toward the land with a giant fog seeming to push them forward. You don't see anything rowing these barges. You don't see sails, but it feels like this fog is pushing the barges to shore. And they are scrambling to get these catapults ready.
As we come in,
Who's that?
Dalaman's there with us. Dalaman, seems your queen has a not so subtle task for us. He turns to one of the knights and goes, what's going on here?
one of the knights, the one who looks like the commander here, looks over, sees surprised to see you, but when he sees Delamian, he instantly relaxes and doesn't feel like he has to threaten or caution or discuss anything with you. It looks like there is immense amount of trust for immense amount of trust for whoever she must have a lot more authority than you'd been led on to believe. We had words that the Whispering Tyrant was planning to strike, and it looks like those words were right. We mustered what forces we have. We are trying to get the catapults in place to sink the barges while they're still far offshore. If we sink them close to shore, they can probably just walk to us on the bottom of the water anyways. We need to get them down far away, but it's a hasty effort. I don't know how you knew to come here or why you're here, but we do appreciate any help you can offer. And that one would introduce himself as Nuan Dial, and I won't even attempt that last name.
Entirely fair.
Do you want us helping set up the catapults or trying to delay the ships coming in?
If you think you can delay them, please. That would buy us more time. I think while a couple more hands could help, I think if you don't know our systems, it might slow us down even more. But if you can delay those barges, that would buy us a lot.
Libby,
Well,
you
Dezi?
got that staff of yours?
Yes, but I might have a few different plans.
Yeah, I don't think going out there makes sense, but I think we might be able to at least try to do some things to them as they come in. Who's on the ships? Do we know? Or what's on the ships?
You can give me a perception check on that.
Yeah, Daegron's going to do that, and also as he's looking, his the tattoos around his eyes kind of you see almost get a little bloodshot, almost like as they start to redden. He can see quite a bit farther, but I'll roll my perception here.
So Dezi, you're looking out. What you see are mostly looking like zombies of some kind. Mostly zombies that seem to be emitting a little bit of smoke from them. Daegron, you see a couple other things mixed in with the zombies. You see some more well-armored skeletons of various types. And you see some more dark shadows that suddenly come flooding through the masses on the boat and start flying towards you. And we will be rolling initiative.
Far
He'll
out.
call
are
out
they?
as he sees them.
The barges are probably still a quarter mile, maybe a half mile or more, just at the
So,
range
like-
of where these could be, of where they could be doing the catapults. The shadowy figures I've just shown flying on the map, they are 90 feet off the map at present. But otherwise, the distance for them is correct. They came surging forward.
Okay. I'll have to wait on that spell. Oh well.
It wasn't giving me the prompt to roll the initiative, so I'm just going to roll it from my sheet.
Okay. I'll put it in if it comes up, when it comes up.
Okay.
Okay, and that worked. That was still linked, so that worked properly.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Okay. So yes, you have 4 barges well offshore. You have 6 shadowy beings flying towards you at relatively high speed, seeking to probably interfere with the construction of the catapults and your defense. And up first is Vanarel. And let me just show you a picture of these shadowy beings. You have what looks like ink black, solidified shadowy demon dogs, gargoyles. You're not quite sure what they are. They have very bestial faces with horns. They have what looks like further horns growing out of their back, and then tentacles, and then wisps of shadow emerging from all the limbs as they fly towards you with eyes glowing red.
All right. Well, I don't have anything to deal with them at this distance. So I am going to delay until they get closer to shore.
How far out are these things?
They are 90 feet beyond the map at present.
Okay.
Around 150.
So Vanarel is delaying. Libbiel.
Are they all grouped up like they look like they are?
Yes.
Hmm.
Give in. You know what you want.
Light them up.
Do it.
Okay. We'll do it. I cast Phantasmal Calamity.
Well,
Okay.
that's not what I thought you were going to cast, but well done.
Even better. So a vision of apocalyptic destruction fills the mind of each creature. So I would guess that would probably be a vision of sunshine and happiness?
Yeah,
affect,
a vision of an army of paladins with sunshine and happiness, and maybe a god descending. Something apocalyptic for demons.
Yeah, let me get all their will saves. Oh my, look at that. I
have
see
bad news for them.
2 critical fails and 4 regular fails. So, let's see. So, basic save, okay. So, let's see. The first one and the fourth one were the critical fails. So, they are taking double damage and something else. I'll deal with the something else after I get all the damage applied. Okay. It looks like they all took slightly less damage than you expected from this. And then let's see. If it, on a critical fail, it must also succeed at a reflex save, or believe it is stuck here. Okay, let me roll those 2. So let's see. I assume it's the same DC, so it's a DC 30. And we have a success and a success. So I believe they are not trapped. So they are being burned alive by sun and friendship, but they are not trapped. So they do not believe the illusion enough to be trapped by it.
Well, that was a fun spell.
And you think you have 1 action left.
I'm just going to slowly approach the front of the beach.
Okay. Daegron.
All right. Daegron's going to pick his axe up from the ground here as it was stuck in. He's going to move down in front of Libbiel. Assume his stance as he kind of raises his axe up high and leads with his fist, and will adopt his dueling parries here. And with his last action, he's going to scratch his nose. Not much else going on. He's going to wait for him to come in for him.
Okay. The first one to go spends 3 actions flying forward and gets to where it is on the map now. That's its first turn, is getting there. Same with the next one, Dezi. So, which 2? And they actually me put some marks on them. I'll put them at 90 feet away vertically.
Maybe just bump them one square forward or something.
You won't be able to
just
see them as well.
distinguish.
Can you see that I
Okay.
put this one at 90 feet? No, you can't see that. So let me.
Just saying you can bump to the south.
Yeah, we'll bump the 2 forward that won't cause any real problems. So
Yep, to the remainder, I will yell "Fire in the hole!" and I'll pull out a valley of holy water and chuck it 150 feet apparently. Casting sorry, what is it? Holy Cascade.
500 feet. Yeah, you have the range. 20-foot
Yep.
burst. I don't think you're going
But
to get
it
all of
should
them. You can probably get
It should
3.
if I do it. I'll get 4, right? Because if I do here, 4 in either direction gets both sides, I think.
Oh, yep. go ahead and put down the burst just so we can confirm.
Sure, let me do that. No,
Okay,
obviously not
yep,
the two
you
front
get
ones,
4.
but yeah.
Yep. I will roll their
And I'll roll-
saves.
I thought it was this one got stunned, not this one.
They only get stunned if it is a critic, if they fail the second roll, right?
So, yeah, none got stunned, I don't think.
Yeah, none of them got stunned. And so I thought I rolled 4. I only see 2 rolls that came out, so I'll roll 2 more. We had a critical success and a success so far. Let me roll the other 2.
Oh no, they were just before.
Oh, well, they were before? Yeah, okay, yes, they were. So there were 3 successes and 1 critical success. Got it. Okay, so I won't
So
count
there's some
that.
bludgeoning damage there, and there's some holy damage there.
Let me find you. So the bludgeoning damage is,
Or spear.
let me see. So how does this one work? Okay, so they
If
take,
they're
they take,
unholy, which
it's
I'm guessing there
basic
is,
save for both effects. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
single save.
and that was the critical success one. So these are the regular damage ones. 1, 2, 3. Bludgeoning, taking half, which does not seem to hurt them at all. And then this one takes none. And then the holy damage, 1, 2, 3. They take half. I think they only went on one of them. Let me try the other one. There we go. And this one takes none. So one of them just completely fades away. It seems like it dissolves under the onslaught of the holy
Was-
energy and the sunlight.
Is that the critical fail or no?
No, there was a critical success. There was 3 successes, 1 critical success.
I'm seeing a critical
No,
fail.
that
there.
was a
Critical
reroll because
success.
I missed.
Oh, it was a reroll.
I missed the
Oh,
2 saves because of getting interrupted by your damage rolls, and I missed the first 2
Okay.
rolls. So, yeah. So one
Okay,
of them has
Yep,
been
yep.
destroyed.
Okay.
think
With that, I will actually use that to cast the knowledge domain and know thy enemy spell. Because we had, we didn't have any failures, did we?
No.
I cannot do that. Never mind. I'll use my last action to just recall knowledge with where is it? With early recollection to gain advantage on this. So I'm assuming this is religion. I will
Sure.
try.
Yes, these are greater shadows. Shadows that spend a large portion of time in the netherworld and absorb its magic become this greater version. You know that they are well known for stealing the shadows from people and then raising those as new shadows. But what in particular were you wanting to know about them?
Yeah, I guess probably. What's the best way to hurt them? Do
Best
they
way to
have
hurt
particular
them,
weaknesses?
so they have resistance to all damage as normal incorporeal creatures would. So ghost touch, force, vitality, or spirit damage is the best way to get through that.
Okay. I will relay that to people. I'm being like, yeah, these are going to be a little tough, but let's keep them off the catapults.
Okay, and next up, another one gets onto the map proper. And it looks like, oh, also, Vanarel, let me know when you want to break your delay.
Yeah, after these folks, I guess.
Okay.
Unless
so
that's the full round. so
that
it doesn't
effectively is
matter.
the full round. You're now at this is now
Okay.
the bottom of round 1 if you're coming out of delay. So you're out of delay now. Bottom of
Sure.
round 1.
Okay. All right. Well, I will move forward here. It's going to be a couple of. Let's see. Yeah, one action to get up to side by side with Libbiel here. For my second action, I know they're still far away, but the one that is essentially to my true north, way up there, I'm just gonna designate him as my favorite until he comes in as a hunted prey. And for my third, actually, I'll advance a little bit farther just to kind of form up a front line here with Daegron and weapon fist bump, hammer against axe.
Okay. Libbiel, it is your turn again.
Which of you boys want to fly today? First one that speaks up gets the spell.
Vanarel, you can have it. I feel better on the ground right now.
Bye, Vanarel.
I just turned around. Wait, what?
Fly.
Oh,
5 minutes. Go get him.
well then.
Daegron.
All right. As he gets to that, he kind of just chuckles as he starts floating off the ground. He keeps the defensive parry or the dueling parry up, and he'll ready his action for as soon as something comes within range. He's going to swing the axe down, and then he'll prep for that.
Okay, up next
So
is
my last action would have been to, like, just cast a shield.
didn't you have to
It's-
move to cast the fly?
Oh, that's right.
That was your 3, I think.
That's right.
So
Forget
this
about
one
that.
double moves straight up to Daegron, which is going to trigger your readied action. Oh my. That is a crit.
Well, 46 points of damage.
Your axe, like, it just, even as it just touches it, it poofs away into nothingness.
Wow, Daegron.
Oh, that was
You
a little
killed that in one
anticlimactic.
hit. That was all you, buddy.
It just like brushed into the blade and dissipated. Yeah, I guess.
Whoops, I skipped someone. Where are you? This one tries the same thing, which this one, it gets to actually attack you. And it is going to, has one action, and it tries to just touch you with its hand. It reaches out. It feels like it is going to go through you, even if it hits you. You don't think it's going to be stopped by your armor. And with a 37 to hit, it looks like it does make contact with you, despite the dueling parry trying to dodge out of the way and ward it off. And it does 18 points of void damage to you, as you feel just a little bit of color leave your life as it pulls something out of you. It looks like it wishes it could do more, but that is its turn. Dezi.
Okay. Knowing that these things are weak, a little weaker to holy, I think Dezi is going to move forward, holy symbol glow in here. And I will mutter or utter a divine prayer, and I'll cast Vitality Lash on the one that's closest to us.
A critical fail.
Oh, well, I don't think, yeah, so let's double that. And yep.
And that one also just evaporates into mist.
My mere presence is doing this.
Bad dogs.
Another one of them is up next. And let's see, can it get... It can get to Dezi. It doesn't like what you just did, so it comes straight for you.
Ooh.
It
And is
flies
going
by.
You would
I
have
have
to...
two.
You would have to have 10-foot reach, though. It came around...
Oh, it went around the side. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think you have 10-foot reach.
Not yet. We'll get there one day.
29 against AC. Looks like it hits you right on the nose.
Yep.
For 11 points of void damage. And another one is going to come flying in. This one tries once again to hit Daegron. And misses with a 23 against AC. And then the final one will make a beeline for Daegron. They are all 5 feet off the ground, but they're still within your reach, because they're within their reach because they don't have reach on their weapons, but they are flying. So maybe that will help with Vanarel's plans, but this one reaches out to hit you with a 34 against AC, scoring another hit, doing 18 points of void damage.
Ah, it stinks.
And it is now your turn, Vanarel. We can zoom
Sorry,
in a
man.
little.
I
We
thought
have
the fly would be more relevant.
I'm glad that my friend came over so close to me. I was probably struck only because I had to. Let me reverse this for a moment here. Yeah, the warhammer first, and then the light hammer. I probably got struck because I was winding up watching him come in over the surf. So now that he's here, I am going to use a twin takedown. I already have him called out as my hunted prey. So now I'm going to drill him into the sand if I can. Only one of those is going to hit, though.
one of those. It was a 22 and a 28 against AC. The 28 hits, doing 13 points
Yep.
of damage, of which only 3 points gets through.
Oh. Well, all right then. I'm going to continue the assault then. With my second action, I will strike again, hopefully. Okay. I was looking and feeling all cocky up until a second ago. With my third and final action, I'll just swing a little more desperately here.
You should make your weapon holy. Can't you just do that?
I'm still working on the flying thing.
Yeah, Vanarel is looking a little off his game as flailing wildly at this shadow that's come rushing right toward him.
Not much of a show, but that's all my actions.
Libbiel.
They're kind of too clustered around us for me to do anything super huge. So, here, Daegron, you can have the haste.
Ooh. Gladly.
And one action left, Libbiel.
I'm just going to put up the shield.
Daegron.
All right. Let's start it out and see what we can do here. We've got the one directly to his northeast. He's going to draw back the next splitter and swing towards this one. That is going to be a 35 to hit.
That will be a critical hit. For 48,
48
points of damage. Which destroys that one.
I think then he will stride around the other one here to get behind it, and then with it pinned between Vanarel and him, he will bring the axe around again.
That
For
is
a 37 to hit.
another crit.
For 44 points of damage.
Let's see that one.
Oh, looks like it's still kicking.
That one needs to make a
Fortitude save for my Frost rune.
Sorry about that. Yes. It failed, so it slowed one.
Yeah, we'll see if it gets there. So that was attack, stride, attack, and I've got my last one. Let's just go for it. My lowest one, but still a plus 13 on this. So 30 to hit.
That is another hit.
We'll get a little bit of a forceful bonus here. Ooh, not great damage. 17 points.
And that loses a lot getting through their damage reduction.
Yeah, and that will be all 4.
Okay, dead one, Dezi.
You probably saw this coming, but Dezi will say a prayer to safe journeys and open roads and cast a 3-action heal.
Yeah, there we go.
It's everyone, so yeah.
We have a fail and a critical fail. Roll your damage, please. And you're healing effectively, so this one takes full, and this one takes double. We are not out of combat, but you do not see any enemies left. So let me just get all of these hidden, as all of the shadows have now evaporated into the sunlight. Vanarel, what do you want to do?
So there's still a couple of fog-covered barges out in the water. Is that right?
There's still 4 of them, yes. Out at a distance of a half mile, maybe more.
Oh, okay. That's much farther away.
Yeah, these shadows seem to have been the strike force to come in and disrupt the plans on the beach to let the barges get to shore. But the barges are still pretty far out.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to try and use this fly spell I've got here to try and get a better point of view on things here. I get a fly speed equal to my speed. Okay.
Going up is difficult terrain, so basically half speed of going up.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm gonna be up about 15 and out 30 or so. I'm just trying to look down into the waters to check for any sort of disruptions. I mean, like I've seen wakes, left by boats, left by creatures. I know what people look like when they're swimming, that kind of thing. I'm just gonna try and keep an eye here for something that might be emerging from the waters, because there's no way with those boats on the horizon that this was the end of it.
Give me a perception check for investigating the water.
All right. Perception.
The water is definitely rough. The waves are surging. You would not expect to have waves on this size. I mean, it's a large lake, but not, you can tell it doesn't have big waves normally, but it is larger than you'd expect for this region. The water is very, very roiled up. It does look like it's carrying a lot of junk, maybe even carrying some remains of creatures that fell overboard from the boats ahead of time, but are not still animated. But you're not seeing anything mixed in with that that's a threat at the moment. It does look like something has changed the water, and the force motivating the winds blowing in is definitely corrupting it in some way, but you don't see a threat at the moment.
Okay, just a foul wind for now. That's me.
Libbiel.
So the ships are out there and they're within, say, 400 yards. It's like a quarter mile.
Probably more about 600 yards at the present.
Okay, I don't think I can clear that distance with a fly spell. I'm going to instead um, try to look to see what's in this area that might be creeping up on us as well.
Okay,
So
give me a
use
perception
my
check. You are not... You don't see anything at the moment. You do see what looks like something has just roiled the fog more out by the barges. It does feel like
there.
the fog might be surging forward. It feels like it's speeding up the barges a little bit, or but what exactly it was, you can't see.
There might be something up with the barges, but I can't really tell.
Daegron?
All right, yeah. Daegron kind of steps back from the water's edge, and he kind of, as he looks out, and he goes, still think they're a little ways out, but you think they're going to send something else, or are we waiting for the main landing now?" And he looks back. How are the catapults doing?
They look like they're nearly ready to start firing.
Does he think he could help at all, or do they? Is it they've got it under control?
You think they have it under control, assuming nothing else interferes.
All right. He'll just stay. He'll stay next to Libby and Dezi here to make sure nothing gets the jump on them, and just keep his eye on the water and that fog that seems to be pushing forward.
Dezi.
Desi's going to do a quick look around to see if they notice anything in particular that might be approaching or seems amiss or closer to us.
You're not seeing anything either. You see the same extra billowingness of the fog that seems a little. You're not sure if it's motivating just a final push to the shore. It does seem like, as I mentioned, the fog seems to be what's carrying the motive force to move these barges. So maybe they're trying to accelerate. You don't know what's causing that or how they do it, or you are thinking that does feel like something behind might be like flapping its wings and taking off from one of the barges, and that's what's causing these rolling billows of fog. But you don't see whatever this could be.
Okay, we might have something flying coming in. I'm not sure. Do I feel like the catapults are like within a minute or so of being done, or like what's
Yes.
the time frame on this?
Yes,
Okay.
within
In that
a minute.
case, I'm gonna cast a bless, figuring that might come in handy, and tell Vanarel, maybe get back here in case something approaches.
Okay. And then, with a roar, something does approach. High in the sky, most of you were looking too low, apparently. You do see a green dragon, or a mottled rotting dragon, it looks like, of some kind, with a very pronounced horn, and it looks like a little bit of a diseased stature, and some very noble-looking undead knight riding it. Bursts into the sky above and begins flying towards you all.
Oh,
And before anyone complains, this is one of the two tokens riding another, not using the usual rules. They're both getting their full turns, no delayed actions. Just accept it, please.
That's how enemies normally work, right?
Yes, how enemies work,
Absolutely.
not how players
Hey,
work.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's balanced for this. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I just wanted to short circuit any questions about that later
I
on.
reserve my right to complain when I go down.
Yes. So, up first is going to be the dragon, who is going to fly in at a speed of yes, and about there. And let me put his height. He's at a height of 20 feet.
oh, found it.
And he is going
Oh.
to start off with a breath weapon, as dragons do.
As one does.
Good spot.
So let me.
Fine, Vanarel. Smart idea being away from us, apparently.
I was gonna come back.
Was going to.
So if you're inside the cone, which is everyone but Vanarel, I will need a fortitude save as a sickly, greenish purple gas is wafted forth, almost as if it's just breathing, but then the burning starts. And the smell. The horrible smell.
I'm fine.
Libbiel is fine, Daegron is fine, so we have 2 critical successes and 1 failure. Got it.
I'm gonna re-roll it using a hero point.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, look, same number.
Same number. Okay, so here is your damage. 34 points of poison damage. And it is the first hero point of the session. I will give that to, I think, Vanarel for just how in need of a hero point that first round of melee rolls was.
I considered it.
You got pity pointed.
Yay.
Yes.
I take them.
So that was the dragon, who does get to freely move his rider with him. Again, NPC rules, don't question it. And he is going to start shooting, I think, at the flying Vanarel. I think he thinks you're the biggest threat. And he has a bow. So strike number 1 is a 36 against AC. Oh,
That'll do
first,
it.
also, I think most of you are inside the dragon's aura now as well. So I will need a will save from everyone against being frightened.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Bless will help with that. That is true.
I think I'm probably okay with just the. Is it 1 fear I get
Yep.
from success?
Frightened 1 on success. I added that to Libbiel.
Sorry, I didn't click on it, but
Vanarel has Frightened 2. Daegron has critical. Dezi has critical.
that's a critical if it's.
Yeah. So, okay. Just wanted to get your ACs lower before the shots come from the rider here. So that was a 36 against Vanarel. That's a hit. Even with the Frightened 2 doesn't change that. So here is the damage from the bow. The bow does appear to be carrying some cold energy as well.
Hey.
So that is the first. He will shoot a second time. And with a 22 against AC will miss you. And with his third action, he will just keep shooting. He doesn't need to do anything else. And miss again. Vanarel. You are...
All right.
He is 5 feet above you and a fair distance away. 10 feet away, it looks like.
Yeah. Give or take. All right. Jeez. I still think that the lizard he's riding on is the bigger thing to deal with, so I'm gonna start there. Sizing up this giant diseased dragon as my hunted prey with a first action. Then I'm gonna fly in next to it so I can break a few ribs,
Yep.
hopefully.
The dragon will lash out its tail at you as you try to fly in.
Oh, he has that trick. Well,
And with a natural 20, he will disrupt that action. So you stay put, please.
is that does that disrupt movement as well? I thought it was just
Yes.
manipulate actions. Okay.
No,
All right, I'm back over here.
Dragons have the one that disrupts move rather than manipulates.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, then I will get beamed upside the head for my troubles. Okay. All right. I get it. Don't want to be approached. Instead, I'm going to throw my light hammer at him.
Okay.
Just right from here. I just try to crack him right from here. One time. 34.
That will hit him.
Okay, you can take that. 12. And then the hammer will kind of like topple end over end for a moment before defying gravity and returning back to my hand. As a new returning rune. New toy.
And you fall to the water.
I do.
You did not spend an action flying.
Well, in fairness, I did
You
try.
did.
You tried, but you did not have it. So you're at height 0 now. I won't make you prone in the water. I can say you're treading water there, but you're in the water.
Yeah.
Libbiel.
I have a smart move and a funny move. I think I'm going to go with the fun one. I cast Summon Dragon.
Okay. Wonderful. What level dragon do you get? Do you know?
It's a 5th level dragon.
Okay.
And I had this up, then I closed it. Why did I close it?
If you can tell me the name of a dragon that's a 5th level dragon or a +/-1 so I can grab elite and weak on it, I will grab you the template.
Yes, I will tell you a 5th level dragon soon.
I'll start searching on Archive of Nethys as well. Sorry about this.
Was it a flame
I had
drake?
it up, I promise. Flame Drake.
Flame Drake? Okay. That works. Flame Drake. Oop.
I hope that one can fly.
Flame Drakes have a fly speed.
Nice.
So you can put it within 30 feet of you. Where do you want to put it? And let me actually see if I can give
It's
you control of it.
It's going to be a kaiju match. Set it right next to the other dragon.
Okay, right next to the...
Probably on this side here. I don't know if Daegron could jump that, but
Is that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25? Yep, that's exactly 30. So there you go. You got your dragon there. It gets 2 actions right away. What would you like it to do?
I would like it to attack the dragon with whatever its best attacks are.
Okay. Let me see also. So you also had to put it somewhat up in the air. We'll call it 10 feet up. Does it have reach? With its tail, it has reach. So it would have to fly to get to the dragon and stay within the 30, because you're 30 feet summoning, because it was higher up.
Oh.
It could not quite get to him. So one action
Maybe
move.
put it closer. Oh yeah, I guess that's fine.
So one action move, one
I
action
can't
bite.
move.
Does that work for you for the plan?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I will try to get it assigned to your ownership after this round. Let me just do this right now. So it's rolling with its plus 14. And it got a 30 against AC, which is a hit. For 13 points of damage.
Okay, I have the thing up now.
You have the thing up? Okay. I still want to see if I can give you the ownership of the token. I should be able to do that. Identity, appearance, vision, resource. I'm not seeing it right now. I won't slow us down. I'll figure it out later. Daegron.
All right. As Daegron starts striding towards it, he's going to draw his hatchet in his free hand and then chuck it towards it with a felling strike at the dragon's wings. So it's a 2 action to do my felling strike. I'll just throw it right here. And we will throw. I want to reroll
against AC is a miss.
Let's see how it goes. Oh, we go no good. Either way, he continues up next to it here. Draw, throw, which is an attack, so that he needs that for his haste, stride, and he will get his dueling parry up and hope he can get towards it or at least draw its attention here, as he's down below it right now.
Dezi.
You want it down there, Daegron? Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you trip something that's in midair, it falls, correct?
That is correct, and it's used its reaction, so it would not be able to arrest a fall.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We are going to go all out on this. We are going to cast Sure Strike and cast Telekinetic Maneuver to target it.
Yep, that does combo right. I was just double checking that Sure Strike applied on attack, not strikes. So it can be used for the spell attack roll, the telekinetic maneuver work.
Those are bad, but
32 against the. Is it against the AC or is it?
Oh no, it's
it should still be against.
DC.
It should be against the reflex DC. Yeah, so it didn't know to do that. That's still a success. So it is going to be down on the water level, and I'm going to call it prone as well, because it's not taking any damage because it's falling on water. It's deep enough to support it and let
that's fine. Prone on water is
going to consider it still prone, and I will consider the rider off and prone as well.
That was my full turn, but I'm happy to have it down there.
Okay. It is up next. The dragon will stand up. That would provoke from Daegron.
Let's bring a swing down on it.
But Daegron is also now within 10 feet of it, and it smells really, really bad. And I will need a fortitude save from you.
All right.
Oh, sickened.
Smell of white dragon.
You've smelled plenty worse.
Yeah. He's seen much worse before. We've already fought an undead dragon. And he'll swing at it as it tries to stand. Not a great roll, but that'll be a hit.
That will hit. 31 against AC.
For 16 points.
So it stood up. It now has 2 actions left. I know what it wants to do, but I don't think it can do that. It looked like it wants to impale you on that horn, but no, he's going to fly away, and he's going to attack once and fly away. You just hit it. He's going to attack you back, trying to bite you. Oh, it's retaliating. Got a natural 20 there for a 44 against
Mhm.
AC. 60
Some
points of
damage.
damage. And it is going to start flying away. It's going to fly...
He swings again at as it tries to run.
That's true. You have 2 of those now.
For a 37.
So that will hit.
Now, is that forceful now? Because it's still in its turn.
No, it's based on your
No.
map, and you don't have map.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the map, yeah, that makes sense. For
Did it
23
fly
more
close
points of
enough
damage.
to the flame drake to get then like the...
It would, but summons don't get reactions.
Oh, okay.
So it would have... It is higher than the Flame Drake now. It has gone up to 40 feet up. It has a lot of fly speed. It's moved away. You do notice that on that bite, somehow as it sunk its teeth into Daegron, you noticed its lungs seem to re-infill. And it is the captain's turn, who is now dismounted and in the water. So he's going to stand up. And he looks a little upset about not being where he wants to be. He will then... He can do that. He bellows, and out from him pours this reddish purple energy. Goes streaking towards, I believe, the 3 of you on the ground. Let's double check. Yep, he can get all of you there. I will need a reflex save for you to dive away or, wind between the pulses of the shadowy, horrible-looking energy. Libbiel has a fail. Dezi has a success. Daegron has a fail. Libbiel is re-rolling. Libbiel has a success now. So success from Dezi and Libbiel, failure from Daegron.
That's a lot of points.
42 points of cold damage to Daegron, 21 to the other 2 of you. And that was its whole turn. You do notice up this close, you can tell that the armor was once part of the Knights of Lastwall. You can see iconography of their knightly order. It has been corrupted and tarnished. So you do think whoever this was, he fell during, he was turned during probably one of the initial fall of Lastwall. Vanarel.
All right, so Vanarel's in the water. Would it be an action in and of itself to get up and out into the air with fly, or just make that part of the move? How would...
I'll let that be part of the move. I'll let it, but it probably costs difficult terrain for that extra move.
Sure,
It
okay.
is
I let the
magical
dragon kind of do
flight.
the same. It had to stand up in the shallows. And then it could fly. So I didn't cost an extra action for getting out of the water.
Okay, so 10 feet effectively to get to there of
Yeah.
my movement. Okay, and just staying right along the surface of the water here, continuing along. I'm going to get to here with 1 move. With my
And
second...
he has a reaction as well. So he will swing
Oh,
at
I'm
you.
finding all the guys that have these
You're
tricks.
finding
Okay.
all of... But he doesn't have his sword out. So he has to just punch you. Because he still had the bow. He will hit with a 32 against AC.
Oh, he's good at it. Okay.
Strong fist.
He has a very strong fist. 26
Oh,
points
that's a
of
strong
damage.
fist.
Oh, okay. Ha ha. Oh, everybody here is very, very violent. All right, for my second action, I am going to change my hunted prey target and make him the 1. Then I am going to... I can't skirmish strike because I'm not on the ground. I'm not stepping. Okay. I'm going to flurry on this guy. And I'm going to hope that the dragon will fight the dragon in the air. So let me... this always defaults back to the others? All right, a couple of hammer strikes against this guy here. First one is going to be the one that actually connects, though. The Warhammer hitting them for 23 points of damage.
And all of that damage seems to affect him.
That's me.
Libbiel.
First, I guess I will have the Flame Drake speed surge to catch up with the other dragon, and then melee fangs on it.
Okay. If you
I
can
still
roll
don't
it,
have
go ahead.
control of.
Okay. Or do you need me to roll it? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Melee fangs. 7 on the die. 21 is a miss, almost a critical miss.
Okay.
You
I
have
just
2
need to
actions left.
Applied pressure. Okay, so for my 2 actions from Libby, I cast haste on Vanarel. There you go, Vanna.
Let me just
Thanks, Libby.
double check that I think you're within range. Yes, you are, even with him being, I think, 5. You were just skimming the water surface, you said. So, yep, you're totally in range
Yes.
there. Daegron.
All right, let's step into this flank with Vanarel here, and he is going to.
I
You know
would
what? Let's
probably
start with
say
an
that that water
intimidate.
is difficult terrain, but you have already soaked his reaction, so it might not matter for a step versus a stride. But you
Yeah,
are walking through the shallows
You're
here.
welcome.
Yep. Thank you for taking it. And then let's go for a demoralize. He's been working on his intimidation here, so let's see. Got a plus 20 on this. Ooh, still even not enough.
Not enough.
So there's a 2. We'll then swing with the axe.
35 is a hit.
For a 35. For 19 points. And let's swing again here. Oh, I should have mentioned that keeping with before, the first, if it's just a basic strike, is always the snagging. So that should have the off guard to him.
Got it. I'll put it on.
If he happens to move out, but stay within my range. And for the second with my map, 33 to hit.
That will also hit. You did notice a little bit of your damage did not go through.
Yeah, he sees the big cold sword and the blue on him. He doesn't know if it's doing anything. But either way, he keeps swinging in, trying to bring this thing down before the dragon can get back involved. And that should be all 4 there.
Dezi.
Yeah, I think Dezi saw that breath weapon were charged and is going to try to do something about the dragon. They will utter a divine prayer to provide light and guidance and destroy evil things. And I'm going to do an eldritch shot. And I think we're going to use a holy light with it. Holy light. Let me get the holy light here. Sorry. Where's my spells? I have too many spells.
There's no such thing.
I've got the dragon targeted already, so let me get the attack roll off like regular.
So 33
So it's a
will
regular
hit.
hit. It's fine. I'll do my damage from this first.
And then the spell
My
damage.
spell is coming next, yeah. Oh, that was actually really bad.
Still did a fair bit of his health. He's been chunked. Oh, it
Now
actually showing
I've
health bars.
annoyed
It's not
him.
supposed to. Oh well, I'll fix that later.
But yeah, that was my full because Eldritch Shot is 3 actions.
The dragon is up next. It has recharged its breath weapon, but it also has another plan of what it really wants to do. It's going to go for that. It comes flying back in to right above Vanarel. This should not count as flank given the 3D geometry here, so we might need to take off the 2 points it's probably going to call. And it tries to basically impale you onto its horn.
Okay.
That is call it a 36 against AC, which is still a hit.
Yes, it is.
Does 20 points of damage, and you are, let's see, you are grabbed.
Oh, okay. I also just got completely removed from the game. I got logged out for some reason.
Okay,
So
you'll be
I
back
assume
soon.
that's because the dragon killed me.
No, it
outright.
did not kill you. But you are impaled on its horn, and then it is flying up, bringing you with it. And it is flying, where's it going to fly? It's going to fly over here, and it's still at 40 feet up. Let me know when you're back in, but you still have a little bit of time before your turn, so the captain will go next. The captain suddenly does not have Vanarel to attack, so it only has Daegron to attack. He will draw his sword. That is a manipulate. I don't know if you have any reactions left.
Yeah, because it's been my turn since. So he'll swing at him.
41.
41 to hit.
That's a crit.
Oh, bad rolls. Double ones.
But I believe yours disrupts on a crit, correct? For manipulates?
Let me just...
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yes.
So he could not draw his sword. He's just going to punch you then. Decided that's the right way
I
to
saw
go.
those fists. I'm still not happy about it, but it's better than a sword.
Yeah, he thinks he thinks you might be able to do that again, so he's going. Oh, he also needs to take the. He's actually immune to the frost one, but he is flat-footed for multiple reasons now. Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna punch you. That's what he needs to do. Actually, what was the aura of this? Just out of range. Okay. Yeah, he tries to punch you. With a 42 against AC.
Yep.
32 points of damage.
Those are some hands.
And I believe that is his whole turn. I don't know if I had him prone. He's supposed to be prone, so he would have had to stand up as well.
Okay.
Because that was the dragon. No, that was the dragon.
No, he wasn't prone.
No, he stood up last turn. That's right. Yeah, he has one action left.
I think he's still got one more.
So he will punch one more time. I think he will punch one more time. That looks like that's working.
Oh, I should have had this for a while.
34 against AC. Just barely gets you again.
Yeah.
For pretty close to max damage.
Yeah, we're still standing. Not doing great, but we're still up.
And Vanarel, are you back in Foundry? Okay.
I am back in, yes.
You are currently flying, but only because you are impaled on the horn of a dragon who's flying 40 feet up in the air. You still have a fly speed, but you would have to escape to get off the horn as it's kind of thrashing you around and carrying you off.
Situation is not improved.
You have him.
Has your fear gone down?
At your mercy.
Your fear should be down by both stats now. You should tick off your fear.
Okay.
It's been 2 rounds.
Yeah, it was not moving before, but I think that's when Foundry was trying to remove me from existence. So I come back into the world on the end of a dragon horn, as you do. All right, well, this thing, I do know that I have the ability to fly. I don't know if the dragon knows that, nor what its plan is, but since I'm here, and I can still attack this stupid thing, I will use my first action to redesignate it as my hunted prey, and I'm on the end of its horn. I assume I can strike it in the face.
Of course.
I'm going to attempt to do exactly that. Stupid dragon.
That looks like a crit and a hit, I believe. Yes. So
yes, indeed.
39 points of combined damage. And let's see, what are all of the specialization? It is not prone unless it makes a save. Okay.
Fortitude save, yeah.
This could get interesting.
We're both in the water if it fails.
It failed. It does have its reaction, so it's going to spend its reaction to try to arrest a fall.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think that's going to be sufficient. So it is going to fall the 40 feet up. It would take 20 damage. I was taking 10 points off from the water, so it's going to take 10 points, as are you.
Yeah, I assume so, since I'm still stuck on its horn.
So take 10 points if you need me to give you a... There's a damage
Yeah.
macro.
Oh, okay, perfect. I will.
Let's see, anything else from your critical spec? No, that was everything. So that
Nope,
was
that was it.
That was 2 actions. You have 1 action left.
Yep. Okay. Well, now we're under. I'm gonna hit this stupid thing one more time.
Yep.
Actually,
It's prone. You're
Now we're-
prone, but you are still grabbed. That
Yeah.
hasn't changed.
right. But now we're kind of underwater because this is much
Also-
deeper. Yes.
Yes.
You should have a
Okay.
haze. Why?
Yeah, you do have the haste. I don't think you put it
I
on
do.
yourself.
I do have a haste.
Let me put
all
that
right.
on you.
Okay. That was the other thing I was attempting when things went haywire. All right. Well, in which case, I will give it one more shot at trying to hit this foolish thing with the warhammer. There it is. Thank you. I will strike it one more time, or at least attempt to.
31
Coming
against
away with
AC. Hits.
31. For 16 more.
And the dragon begins sinking into the depths.
Okay. Well, I was going to use my last action to try and escape, but I guess I'll unhook myself as it sinks to the bottom.
I think I would still want a check to escape to avoid being dragged
Excellent.
down with it.
Okay. That is
I'll put it on the
absolutely
board then.
fair.
Because you're impaled on a very barbed looking horn.
I am. So this is at full map then.
Mm-hmm.
So is this going to have the map onto it? It doesn't look like it is built in here. I'm just going to roll it and see. I mean, take 10 off as appropriate.
Okay.
Or I'll roll a natural 20.
You roll
for
a natural
total of
20, so that's a 30. So if we take 10 off, it would have been a 27. A 27 would have been a fail. That gets updated to a success. So you have broken free. You are not grabbed. Do you have any actions left?
No, because that was
Yep. So
I used all except one.
You did spend no actions swimming, so you will be technically at -5 feet, and you will
Okay.
need to start holding your breath. But I think next turn you can swim pretty easily.
Yep.
Libbiel.
Okay, so time to scam some fireballs. First, fireball breath, and I'm going to center it so it doesn't hit Daegron.
Yep, I believe that's possible. You can airburst it enough. That's not a problem. So
Yes.
So it needs to. I'll send it to chat so we can see it, and I'll make him make his save. He has a 32. He got a critical success against the fireball.
Wow.
I'm assuming you didn't choose that name for the Flame Drake? Sad Flame Drake?
No. I want to give him a hug. All right. And for Libbiel's 2 more actions. Fireball. I'm going to do the same thing where I try to not hit Daegron.
And there he gets a critical fail against yours. Your higher DC
The one
makes
that mattered.
all the difference. Double damage from the fireball. He doesn't take any bonus damage, but he does take the full expected amount.
Well, he's not weak to fire.
Daegron.
All right. As Daegron's sizing him up as he's on his last legs, he's going to attempt to put him back on the ground with a slam down. So that is an attack, and then we will give a athletics check. Ooh, a nat 2 ain't going to do it for me.
That will miss. 25 against
Okay.
AC.
So that's 2. I have to use 1 on a stride or an attack, and we're not striding away, so we'll do a dueling parry and then swing for the second. Get back up to 35. Hopefully not get crit down if he's still up by the time it gets to me. And let's do this map. 17 on the die for a 35.
That will hit.
Should be full map. because of the slam down, I think, unless you have.
So that would go to 5 less. Would a 30 hit him?
A 30 will still have hit.
Okay. So 17 points. 4 of that frost isn't going through. And that'll be all 4.
Dezi.
Yeah, Desi sees Daegron in the water with like lots of things hanging out of their body, mostly in, kind of in a few pieces. So yeah, we're gonna say a prayer to Healthy Fires and cast a 2-action heal on you.
We love to see it.
Seems fine. That gives me 1 action left. You're still there. For now, I'm
Beefy
gonna
boy
actually
these days.
do. I can't get to Vanarel, so I'm gonna
Oh,
do.
actually, one
just
second.
appear-
Something's going to happen when
Yeah.
you try that.
Hey, buddy, don't do that.
Yes, he counteracts your spell. No healing for Daegron.
That's no fun.
And there's
Go
no traits on this. It's an aura, automatically
Okay.
attempts
I
to
glare at him.
counteract
Oh,
vitality-based spells.
Okay.
Automatically, it's not a reaction-based, it's not a manipulate, so he just gets the check and removes that damage.
Oh, that's dirty.
Life boost is also that.
He was 5 feet too far
yeah.
away when you did the holy light one to try to stop that one.
Aha! There you go. I was debating striding away, but I don't know what the aura is, technically speaking. So, I will reload my crossbow.
And he is up next. He will try to punch Daegron, because that's
that
been
off guard
working
will be
well.
gone too.
The off guard's
Unless
gone?
the terrain's causing that, yeah. Because
No.
it's only until the end of my next turn.
Okay, it's gone. He punches out at you, trying to knock you to the ground. Misses with a 32 against AC. He tries a second one. Oh, that natural 20 that became an 8. 28 against AC. Oh, wait, there's one more thing, though. What does this do? He is quickened. The death of the dragon has enraged him, and you see him glow with a little bit of extra energy as he seems to absorb some of the dragon's dying efforts. He is quickened, and that's really the only real effect from that. So he will just try to punch a third time. And a 33 against AC still can't get you.
That parry got me going.
He doesn't like this. He is so close to dropping you. And he will swing a fourth time. And completely fail with a 19.
He catches his hand and then with his dueling riposte swings down at his head.
Oh, you have that now. That is awesome.
Yep.
Multiple ways of getting your reaction off. Very nice. He takes 21 more points of damage, and his turn is over. Vanarel, you are sinking into the water. You've freed yourself from the dragon, which you see sinking quickly into the depths below you, almost pulling you down by its weight and the turbulence. What are you doing?
Quickly orienting myself to the surface and swimming to precious, precious air.
Give me an athletics check. I was setting the DC at 25 for the first round while the dragon's pulling you down. So that will you get to the surface.
All
That's
right.
your first action.
Okay. Let's see. How do I? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. For my second, I'm going to take back to the air. The dragon hopefully is not going to come back. So I'm going to get myself to a place where I can move a little more freely. So for my second, I'm going to go like up, like roughly like 10 or so feet, try to get over, maybe like to like that for my second action, about 10 feet above the surface of the water. And for my third, I don't have him set up as a hunt prey or anything, but I see there's a fight going on in the surf. I am going to throw my light hammer at the back of this armored fellow's head. +1. Let's see. I did swim, but it does not attack though. So, all right. See if I can just like ping him off the head. Nope, splashing into the water next to him, and then splashing again as I return.
One second, just trying to. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, that was all of that. You swum, you moving towards shore, and you missed with a throw.
Yep. Yes.
Libbiel.
Probably not relevant, but we never did the Flame Drake's recharge. So let's see 1d6. It will take 3 turns for that. Okay. Flame Drake flies in and goes for a fang attack. It hasn't been targeted by anything.
26 against AC is a miss. It tries to bite it, and it does seem like this guy is used to dragons and knows how to dodge them very well. That's just narration, not mechanical effect.
And Libbiel, I guess. Well, the Flame Drake is immune to fire, so I'm going to hit the same spot with a fireball. Fireball! Everyone loves it. It's one of the best spells in the game.
He makes a success this time. He would take in half damage.
That's fine. Take half of 18.
He does. Daegron, on the verge of death.
All right, he's got a flank with a dragon right now. Let's see if he can put him down. As he kind of grabs hold of his hand still, he swings in with the axe to see if he can hit him. For 14. And as he sees him kind of wobbling, comes in again with an underhand. Ugh,
And that's
nothing.
A miss.
And then why not? He's in the same move. He just starts swinging away. Well, we only got one up with the worst map, so that's not going to do it. And on the fourth, not going to do it. We got the first hit, but he's starting to lag and to kind of like sink into the foam a little bit as all the blood is pumping out of him.
Dezi.
Hey, buddy, you know what's not holy? Rocks. I will use a Eldritch Shot with a telekinetic projectile.
He can't counteract that.
I'm gonna use my daily
Halfling luck.
guiding luck to do a reroll on that, basically.
Man.
I cannot do this.
So
Oh well, that was my turn.
miss. And he is
Rocks
up.
are bad.
We're both here.
He is up. He's going to keep trying to punch you. He needs to get to those catapults, and he needs to get through you to do that. He knows that you can have the reaction that would probably drop him if he moves past you, so he has to drop you.
No dueling parry. It's a good chance for him.
35 will hit you.
Yeah, we're down.
28 points of damage. You are dying 1. Your initiative moves to right before him, which is basically where it was.
Mhm.
And then he is going to go striding up, probably toward that healer type. That's the biggest problem. So what's his speed right now? He is hasted. That's 10, 20, 25 to get out of the water. So double move to get here. He has 1 strike left because he's hasted. So he will swing at Dezi once. Still not bothering to draw his sword. He's realizing just at this point, just punching away is what he does best. And I think I put that at too high a map, so that should be 5 lower, so that will miss. That will be a 28 against AC, which just misses you.
Yes, it's a fist. It's not 4 lower. Sorry, I want to get hit. We haven't.
Oh, it is 4
It's
lower.
agile, yeah.
That will hit you. So here is your damage. Thank you for that.
Because he likes the pain.
34 points of damage. And it is now Libbiel's turn.
Oh, well. I don't like that he's up here with us. I'm going to use Life Boost on our friend Daegron. Get up off the ground.
Does that have the divine vitality trait? He will try to
It's
counteract it.
Vitality trait, yeah. It's arcane if it matters.
That does not matter. Yep. I do not believe that will succeed, so you do get the life boost off.
Yeah, the spell DC is 30. That's what
Yep.
it uses. Yay, have a life boost, Daegron. The dragon flies in and using speed boost if it has to. I don't think it has to. And bites him.
Can the dragon get the kill? No, it misses. He is still seems to be very adept at dodging between the blows of the teeth and the claws and the horns, and he seems like he's used to dealing with maybe taming dragons and just is used to this.
All right, I'm going to put up a shield on myself.
And Dezi is
That's,
up.
I mean, Desi's seen this guy take AOs. We're gonna step back and hope we can roll a number. Numbers are good, I hear. So I'll step to there, and did Vanarel go?
I don't think
I'm out of
Vanarel.
the.
I don't think Vanarel went. I must
I
have
think we
skipped Vanarel.
skipped Vanarel.
So
Not since the
I'll
captain
take-
has gone. No.
I will put Vanarel right after Dezi then, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and we will try rocks again, or maybe actually, you know what? Rocks didn't work. We're gonna try scissors next. So I'm gonna look for shards on the shore here with my telekinetic projectile. Where is it?
If we get to one more round, it'll be paper.
Yeah, that's piercing. Oh yeah, it's. I chose the wrong.
38 will hit. He takes 24
Okay.
points of damage, and he
Scissors.
falls, and you see all of the. You hear the loud thunk, thunk, thunk as the catapults begin firing. The first couple shots go a little astray. It does seem like they're having to winch them back down and dial in their aim a little bit better. But within a couple more shots, the barges are all sunk far off the shore. There is immense celebration going on. The fact that you kept the dragon far enough away to avoid breath weaponing on the catapults. If you'd been up on the hill, they'd be taking damage too while you were fighting them. But you sacrificed yourselves in some ways to keep them away. Oh, I know. Wait, Daegron is still dying.
I'm popping back up
Dagon's
right
got the
away.
life
Oh,
boost.
life boost.
Life
Yeah.
boost.
So I'm okay going into the narration.
Yes.
And Vanarel's swimming. I trust he'll get out of the water. So you can move
Oh, yeah.
yourself to shore. I won't pause you for that. But there is celebration. The commander there seems very, very relieved that you were all here. It looks like he is well trained, maybe about as well trained as you, but he's only one. The rest of his crew significantly less trained. He does come up to you afterward and says, "Oh, thank the gods you were here. That dragon that could have routed us. I think we could have dealt with those shadows coming in. But I just between you and me, I think that dragon's aura would have scared my people into running away right away. Thank you. Who are you?"
Oh, hey there. We're from out of town. Actually, we're from way far away. We came here. Oh, I don't even know. I mean, we fought Urkshul. And we're coming out here because, well, we're journeying back with your commander there.
Dalaman.
Did it? Okay. Yes.
Dalaman.
Dalaman. And we got a summon to come here. It seems like you needed the help. So happy to meet you. Sorry, I'm Dezi.
It is my immense pleasure to meet you, Sir Dezi. Thank you for your assistance here. Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? We can finish introductions after you've had a chance to handle some healing. It does look like 3 of you might need a little bit of attention. I apologize. Please, when you're ready, seek me back out on the hill. We can chat more then.
Well, why don't we take a spot over here, maybe sit down by the fire and tend to these wounds,
Yeah.
and we can speak with the commander if he wishes. It might take us a little bit.
Doesn't know whose tent this is, crawls in and takes a nap.
Libby, don't go fall asleep yet. What if there's another dragon?
Oh, well, that'll just
And
be the
wake
third.
me
I'm
up
pretty
and
sure we
then-
can take it.
Yeah, wake me up when another dragon shows up. I'll be fine.
So he deploys a number of his forces to, keep watch on the shore, watching for other signs of other barges. But the thick fog has disappeared, and that's completely gone now. The barges have sunk. The water is returning to its normally pristine blue colors here. And he looks over at you all as you're wrapping up bandages and doing some magical healing. And as I said before, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, you can tell he's looking over at Dalaman at times and just trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. Last I heard, you were sent to assist the Pathfinders. Is that in regard to this Urkshul thing that was mentioned?
Yep, that's the one.
That was... Oh, I won't ask how... Vanarel is stabbing...
Vanarel, what are you doing?
Vanarel is stabbing Daegron as this conversation is going on. You're using a hero
was just-
point.
I was just listening to the conversation and was not looking where I was going.
Okay, that is a success. So we'll keep the conversation going as you work on that. I had heard they had found something ancient and unique. I hadn't heard why they were calling in favors from across the continent. But whatever they found, well, I think they should be glad they had you there as well. Are there 4 of you Pathfinders?
Pathfinders,
we're
no.
not.
That's a little too formal, I guess, for our tastes. We have our own mission that aligned with the Pathfinders, but we didn't want to get stuck there too long, tied up in their other business when this was important for us to handle. I don't think they would have been able to get to it in time.
Well, I do not want to ask too many details. It does seem like discretion on some of this may be important. But you have my sincere thanks. I do not think we could have repelled that force without losses. I think we could have succeeded either in sinking the barges but losing all of our forces here, leaving that dragon to rampage, or maybe been successful in driving the dragon off while the barges landed. Either of those would have been horrible, horrible outcomes. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I will spread
No
the
problem.
words of your deeds far and wide as when we return to the city.
I mean, it just, I don't know, you need to tell big stories about us. We're just doing what we know how to do, which at this point is kind of deal with a lot of demon-y things.
And the undead dragons. This is the second one.
Vanarel, have you really been practicing this medicine?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Hang on.
That's actually
I know
only a fail, because you said you were aiming for the 20 on a natural 1 that bumps it down 1 degree. So it's not a critical fail. You're not going to hurt anyone, but... Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There's no
sorry.
more
I'm trying to keep
bandages.
this conversation up, but
every few
pulling out
minutes,
those
someone
negative
turns and
ones,
yells
or
at
those
Vanarel.
ones.
Just me screaming at myself, of injuring myself.
I'll also be like refocusing and life boosting through this. So, I mean, if there's no immediate threat, we can.
There's no immediate
probably-
threat. You will be topped off. Dalamian is, well, I think we've been successful here. When you are ready, we will continue on to Greengold. Let me know when you are ready to leave.
What time of day is it right now?
Probably about 4 p.m.
It's almost time to eat. Maybe before we leave?
If you want
Yeah,
to
do
eat
lunch with the
rations here,
soldiers. Chat
but-
with some of them.
I'm sure there's fancier restaurants in the city, but if you want to have more trail rations for... it's been 6 weeks now on the road. I was looking forward to a meal
What's
back
one
in
more
town.
day?
But you want to stay with the soldiers here for the evening? We can do that.
What, you don't like the food I cook?
She hastily averts her eyes.
Yeah, unfortunately, create food does not make anything that tastes good. But
Needs salt.
yeah, but it might be a good idea to talk to the people here and figure out what's going on before we head into the city. I mean, you did say that your queen sent you here for a reason.
That is true. I suspect this was that reason. Helping to repel the assault would make your names known far and wide for having helped us, rather than just heroes from afar. This is going to save the day here and quiet the rabble-rousers in the court. Those who seek to say non-elves can't be as good as elves, or those who think to say any reports from outside the lands are overblown exaggerations. They will trust this, as long as we don't rub it in their faces. I think this will have quelled any of the hesitation about your presence here and your skills being shown to be the real thing. And she will then turn to the commander and ask, have these types of assaults been more common recently? And no, this was the first. We saw the fog approaching and didn't know what to expect. It has seen that there are more probes coming from the Whispering Tyrant. The undead forces have been mustering, and all are afraid. But this was the first real invasion we have seen.
Well, that was quite a force for just a probing force, that is. An undead dragon on it with a rider. Man, that guy could punch hard.
I saw. I am pleased he never got his sword drawn. He might have been much worse.
Wasn't the smartest move to never do that after I stopped him the first time, but it was probably for the best.
What has been going on in the city? Do you know?
In Greengold? Oh, not much.
Yeah.
People are nervous. The trade has been a little low, but we are not in siege conditions. We are not having to ration our food. Maybe fewer visitors, maybe a few more people leaving, but mostly overland. Mostly it is actually the elves who are evacuating a little deeper into the forest, while all of our long-term residents from other races have been staying put. You can tell they're a little nervous, but no problems as of yet.
Okay. Well, we're glad we could help here.
It seems like we need to make a bit of a reputation around here if we're going to make any headway in this area. Is there
Oh,
perhaps a way we can help out that is a little more impactful?
Dalamian will speak up and say, I suspect this will be enough. My stories will have reached those who are known for their intelligence. The ones who are more impulsive are the ones we had to worry about, but they will jump on the bandwagon, I believe, now that you've had a success within our lands. And let's see, we have a hero point to award. We've already given one to Vanarel. I want to give another one for those double nat ones there, but I think I'll hand one out to Libbiel for the opening salvo of that phantasmic calamity that really almost negated the shadows.
That was great.
Plus
Yeah.
the flies and the hastes. Very well use of the time while things were approaching before you knew what they were. So bonus hero point for you there.
Thank you.
Plus, if you give Vanarel another hero point, I'll just use it on a third one. So
It's going to a medicine check, no doubt.
Mr. Commander, sir, you know this guy's got some magical full plate. I don't know if you guys want to grab that.
It might be cursed.
Give me a second. I'll figure out what it is. I'll quick identify it because I can.
There's the skills for it.
or do we know who he is?
I can take a society check on that.
Oh, let me just work on that. Why do I never remember to roll this? Right.
Yes. So first we have 2 successes here on the different topics. So, yes, it is cursed. Yes, it is some pretty awesome armor as well, though. So it is a +2 resilient full plate. I know you were just chatting about the new arms and armor you had bought, and here's a +2 being dropped pretty early on. However, the armor itself is under the Grave Knight's curse. Anyone who wears the armor for at least an hour becomes automatically cursed and might become a Grave Knight.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
but that's only if you wear it.
Yes.
I mean, I could look into breaking this curse. Do you all want to deal with that, or do you mind if we grab this?
By all means, you defeated him. The spoils belong to you.
I'm gonna throw it in party inventory. I probably have something to remove curses that I could prep to get rid of that, assuming that works.
And then for who this was, yes, you would recognize this man as Captain Talimer, one of the captains of the Knights of Lastwall, maybe one of the first to die when Tarbafon's forces surged over Vigil. His body was never recovered. It appears that you now know where he ended up.
Huh.
Well, sounds like this man needs to be respectfully entombed somewhere, but it's a shame he had to become an undead.
Yeah, what happened at Lastwall was pretty terrible. Surprised to see him all the way out here, though.
Well, that just bodes very ill of our enemy.
The commander will look at you a little bit surprised, and ask, why does that surprise you to see him here?
Oh, I thought all Lastwall. I don't know a lot of what's been happening in Kyonin. Have they been attacked by the Whispering Tyrant as well?
Oh, these barges. This was Tarbafon's forces.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Sorry.
And just in case the players, this is more for the players than for the characters, but for some geography, let me share another map with you all. This might be a little helpful. Let me put you onto the map so you can see things. There we go. So this is the map of the region where we are right now. You are currently at just shy of Green Gold, so kind of in the center of the map. This is the lake that the barges were coming from, Lake and Carthen. The center of that is the Isle of Terror, which is the seat of Tarbafon's power. And all the surrounding nations are called out here. So you see Resmirin to the north, Ustalav at the complete north side, Vigil, which is now the Gravelands. So that is where the fall of Last Wall occurred, is in Vigil. Then you have Nirmathos, Mothun, and Druma as you come back around to Kyonin. And you see a little bit of Tanglebriar, and heading further south from that would be the Five Kings Mountains of the Dwarves, if you're familiar with that. The areas, if you see the river that had like the multiple rivers, sorry, the lake with the multiple rivers leading into it, that's kind of, you probably were following that river most of the way down. Following this branch up would have led further out through the Stolen Lands, through the area of Kingmaker, Pitax, all those little kingdoms, and much further out, probably about 2 times, maybe one and a half times the width of this map is where you came from in Ialbaria. And Ruethwyn, this is where you came through initially with that artistic graveyard before teleporting across the country of Kyonin. So fall of Last Wall would have happened in this general area. Most of the corrupted remains would have been brought to the Isle of Terror. So Green Gold is a pretty close place to Last Wall in that grand scheme of things. And
Okay, fair
yes,
enough.
you're close to the seat of power of
geography
Tarbafon.
correct. Okay.
So this has been a steady assault. This isn't anything new.
There have been increased activity, but until now, nothing that felt like a military option instead of surreptitious forces in the night trying to sneak in, trying to dig up graveyards and recover corpses, maybe spreading plague here and there. But our priests have been able to deal with those kind of efforts without too much problem. This was the first military operation that we have encountered.
I see. Sounds like it's not going to be the last either.
Yeah, you usually don't.
They lost a
Send just
dragon and a
one for-
powerful knight. Maybe it'll delay it a little longer.
That
Oh, right. Yeah, Vanarel will look back out at the lake. There's a rotting dragon in the waters here. I don't know if that's going to, or how adversely it's going to affect it, the water, if this is a water source for the people.
we will need to call in some help for that. Between the dragon and the sunken barges, yes, this shore is probably not going to be clean for some time. I will be sure to raise that concern with my superiors. And he actually is looking a little more nervous than he was before. The elation of surviving and of driving off the dragon and the barges is now sinking in that was only the first step. There is more work to be done, and more invasions are likely.
So, the escort to town?
In the morning, it sounds like was our plan. We need to strike the catapults and load them back onto carts. We might leave one here assembled, but we might need them on other stretches of the beach, so we cannot leave all 3. And it will take us some time to break them back down and untension them and have them ready to move. You are welcome to go along on yourself. We believe the roads should be completely safe at this point. But if you wish to stay the night here, you are more than welcome.
When does everyone feel?
Probably makes sense to head into town with them. I don't think there's any super pressing issue, and escort traveling in groups does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
I'd
no
agree.
rush.
Traveling-
It's nice to take a leisurely stroll.
You do see Dalamian at one point looks over to the 4 of you and asks, "Would you mind if I send a message? I think they were expecting you in town today, but
Oh, if they want us there today, we can head in.
Oh, I don't think we have to be there. I just don't want anyone to worry. But I didn't want to report on your location without your permission.
I'm fine with it. I don't
How
see a
far away
problem.
is it, roughly?
Probably about an hour. It's about 3 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really close.
Yeah, Daegron just kind of stretched and goes, well, we didn't really have a need one way or another. It's not too far. Let's just head in. No need for a message.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay.
Make that,
She
yeah.
thinks about asking for a hand cart so then she can have Daegron pull her into town.
Well, you have horses. You've been riding horses this whole time.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but you still want to be pulled into
Can
town?
sleep on a horse. Yeah.
Put
I,
the
that way
horse
she
on the
can
handcart.
nap.
I believe you bought
Yeah.
horses from the Pathfinders back when you were doing the overland travel portion. So
What's that
Yes.
about a horse before
Right,
the handcart?
I do that. I do remember that. No, it's all right.
So you
She
do
can sleep on the horse.
you do about 35-minute, maybe half an hour walk to get to the gates of the town. Let me put you on that so you can see the map. 1 second. There we go. So
Oh, wow.
it's a largest town. As I said, it's a big port. It has a nice sheltered area for the docks. At least for Vanarel and Daegron, who have both spent a fair bit of time at sea before the adventures all started. This might not be as large as Magnamar. Magnamar is, of course, an ocean-facing city with extreme amounts of trade. But for your understanding, at least, of river or lake-based ports, this is feeling large and bustling, well-developed, and a very safe harbor with that nice sandbar kind of blocking access. The canals for irrigation and some travel gives you a little bit of feeling that people can walk in around the city nicely or ride boats around the city. It does look to be a little less classically elven than maybe stories have told you. There are normal looking houses here. It's not everything is a grown tree that's been hollowed out, or not everything are tree houses. This does feel familiar with touches of unfamiliarity as you look around the city. And
All right. I'm going just to take a minute to set up the B-witch signal in case we get separated.
okay.
I would have
This-
Libby, you'd be willing to accept a status so I can, know your location and if you're under any effects. Spell.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think Daegron heads towards the canals and sees if he can spot any sort of uh, small passenger boats that maybe are ferrying around the city, or
Yes, you
I think
definitely
he
see
loves
gondola
how there's
type
just water
activity here.
everywhere.
So where are they expecting us, Delaney? And I'll say as we're kind of walking along the docks.
Well, we do have at least two options. The first, and my preferred, but again, you are here as guests. You are here. You can do whatever you want. We simply we would like the chance to interview you, but we do want to make sure that your autonomy here is respected. But our first offering, if you would care, there is a local noble is currently visiting the capital for a couple of months, and we have been told we can use their estate for your visit if you would like that. That is on the far side over here. Why is it not pinging? There it is. Now
Is
it's
it
pinging.
quiet?
It's
Yeah, it's
pinging.
very small.
Yeah,
I see it.
over to the southeast side, kind of the cluster of buildings inside that small clearing just past the far corner of the canals. So that is option number one. That is the Vinoran estate. There's a number of smaller cottages, they call them, but I don't think they understand the meaning of the word. They are closer to small palaces that have been reserved for your use, as well as the main hall itself, but that would be a little maybe overwhelming for just 4 of you. It's designed for a family of 40 to 50. Other than that, we can find any of the local inns. There is the Laughing Gale is a popular tavern that does have some rooms to let. That is also relatively close by to that. That is right here. That I guess that ping is also not showing up. It's so small on this map. There it goes.
I
Yep.
see
I
it.
see it now.
Yep. If I zoom in, I can see it. Yep. So that's another option. And then Hedgerow Hollow is probably the largest inn. Might not be quite as fancy, but would have probably the most amount of random people to meet with and talk with if that's what you want. And that's here closer to the port.
Well, I would prefer some more quiet, but I'm going to let my party decide. They are a little more social than I am.
Well, if you need
Normally, I
someplace quiet, why don't you uh, mission requisition that estate they've put up? I don't know if I could deal with such a thing, but I'd be willing to
I
stay in
don't
the
want us
tavern
to
nearby.
split up too much. I'd like to just stay together.
That's what
Despite
you
that's
wish.
everything, I
probably a
would
good idea.
feel
Sure.
most comfortable with you guys nearby.
I do worry about what we carry and what it attracts. Maybe someplace a little out of the way might make sense.
Yeah, someone might want my fireball stat. She gives him a look.
Well, for the safety of your fireball staff,
Well, I
maybe
guess
we'll
I can
we'll
get to
take
the
the estate.
tavern easy. Let's go to the estate.
So Dalamian leads you across the town, not going through the center of town. It does feel like she is trying to at least point out some landmarks to you, but at the same time, try to ensure it doesn't look like a parade through the town. Um, while it's possible once the commander arrives back and sings your praises, maybe you'll become celebrities then, but she is trying to at least forestall that for the immediate time. So, probably leads you around the southern edge of the canal, kind of wraps around, and then follows the road to the estate. And it is as you approach that road, this one now does look much more, at least from the front, like an elven curved lines, almost made out of vines, but you can tell it's actually metal and stone and wood. But it does look like it is a growing thing that's probably been here for a century, and it probably has not been growing, but it does give that look. And there's not that many straight lines anywhere, but not in a way that feels uncomfortable. It does feel welcoming and warm. She leads you around out back, and there are these six little, as I said, they call them cottages. Each one looks like it's built in a slightly different style, but lots of marble, lots of carvings. It's very ornate. It does look like each one was another artist's attempt at one-upping the others, but never quite reaching the main hall. And so she'll lead you to one of them. And I hope I don't need to retcon this later. I think it is this one. So it's the second one around the 10 o'clock position. And I will see you all in the morning. You are welcome to explore the city as you will. I will need to rest, make some reports, and find out if the Queen has other plans for me or for you. But it has been my pleasure journeying with you these past couple of months, and I hope we can work together again. Do you have any
That would
last
be
questions before I retire for the night?
that'd be very pleasant. And is there a extremely safe, like safe within this mansion?
I do not know. I will look into that. It might take a day or two to get an answer. I understand. Would you have shared the details of this with her? Would she know why you're asking, or have you kept that hidden?
Well, considering we've probably been traveling with her for quite some distance, I think we would have told her just because she would have run into our random event that happens every now and then.
Yes. Okay. I understand the need. I will also see what I can do to arrange. Maybe we can get some more. I'll see if the armory can spare a couple more teleport scrolls if we need to jump to some random places to open the box, as it were, and mislead the
Understandable.
followers. So she will
Our pursuers are many,
so she will
and
retire
this
for
are
the evening, and let's hear a little bit from the party right now. the four of you are gathered around a very ornate palace-like location. It probably has about the 4 bedrooms, maybe 5 bedrooms. One's unused. It has a very nice kitchen and like a nice open seating area. You can tell it's designed most for visiting delegations of some kind that maybe are meeting here for trade deals, and this is where different parties are put up in the different rooms here. So they have a private place as well as a place to do some business and receive visitors and conduct deals. So it's not completely set up for long-term living. You can tell that's probably the main house. This is, a nice kitchen, some nice bathrooms, but it doesn't have like the full complement of like a library and storage room. So it does seem like it's a little bit being resupplied, probably by the house staff for its normal everyday cooking needs.
Well,
Okay.
it's nice to be not in the middle of like awful demon infested territory.
Well, do you all want to go out for a night? We haven't really had much of a break.
No, there's a tavern just around the corner. The Laughing Gale.
Yes. We've made the compromise to come here, so I'm okay with spending a night at the tavern.
We catch a gondola back, and we're most of the way there. It'll be a great time. Don't worry.
You can tell Desi looks a little hesitant just after their long journey, but it will come with the group.
Yeah, it's been a while since we have actually been in a place where we could just sit and enjoy each other's company without having to hole up inside of a tent or a cave or and there's a
Fair.
real nice view of the docks here.
Maybe we should, and Desi kind of sniffs Daegron at this point. Maybe we should take a quick bath first, though. We did just fight a zombie dragon.
We're covered in glory, though. Come on.
Yeah, glory smells really bad. Please.
It can.
You mean the
Okay.
waters of the lake didn't rinse it all away? All right, that's fair.
You might want to put a shirt on that doesn't have a giant like horn, tusk hole through it, Vanarel. I don't know.
I think we're gonna have a harder sell on that one. That's a battle wound.
I'm feeling much better since then. It's all right.
So you spend a little bit of time getting cleaned up, and it sounds like then you are wanting to head over toward the Laughing Gale for some drinks, for some chatting is what it sounded like. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yep. So you make your way across the map. Uh, you do see there's that wide, I know I'm hiding it now with all the character images, but I think players can still see where I'm pinging. Right next to that, there's a wide open plaza that is known as
Mm-hmm.
Founders Square, which is the Green Gold's largest public space where festivals are often held. Nothing seems to be going on at the moment, but up the road at the tip of that is a very large temple to Callistria. That's the tip of that. I'll try if I move these away. So right here is a temple to Callistria, and that is one of the largest temples in Green Gold. But you are heading to the tavern, which is right next door. As you enter into the tavern, you do see it is an amazing mix of eccentric people. You see humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes. You see a couple of tengu. Uh, you definitely see either other ones that you don't immediately recognize. You see all kinds of planes touched from the elemental planes. It does look like this is a little bit of a melting ground type location. You hear loud, music going on in the background in some of the rooms. Other rooms are quieter. There's trade discussion going on. And what are you looking for here?
I'm going to order a drink and go to one of the quiet rooms and just let the party interact with the loudness.
We've been away from society so long. I think Desi wants to sit with, Vanarel, Daegron, potentially Libby, but wants to be around like some actual people at this point.
Yeah, that's Daegron's goal, is just to drink and mingle as he can. It's been a long time since he's been able to relax at a tavern, like, and be around a more rowdy crowd than Osprey's Cove would provide. So I think he's kind of drinking this all in.
Yeah, ditto.
Might not be quite as rowdy as maybe the two fighter types might want, because it is still a little bit more cultured. While they're serving drinks and everyone's singing, but it's not like a brawling type tavern that's likely to happen. People
No,
are
yeah.
still a little more civil here, not quite getting that drunk, but it is still a little bit raucous at times. And if you want to give me perception or society or diplomacy checks for gathering some information here, we can do that. If you want to just continue chatting with each other, that is also totally acceptable.
Yeah, I think Desi's kind of trying to keep an ear open, so probably perception to hear what's going on around.
Yeah,
Find
not
new
just
feet.
paying attention to the when a few drinks get in people, they start talking and not paying attention to as much who's around them. He's listening specifically to hear if there's been either, it sounds like from the captain, Tarbafon is not a constant threat, but if there's anything else that's been kind of causing them troubles around the area.
Yeah, so Daegron, you didn't hear much. I think you might have gotten a little too distracted by the alcohol coming by, or maybe there was a sea shanty briefly that you joined in on, and just having the good time here, and just got a little distracted. Where Dezi and Vanarel, you're both hearing lots of the traders discussing, is it time to get out of the city? Do we have to leave? Will trade survive? Are we going to get blockaded in? I heard there were barges coming. And you can tell that they're nervous. There's other voices saying, no, the guards were sent out. They would tell us if we have to evacuate. Don't do anything hasty. Haste makes waste, as they say. But you keep hearing
Desi,
more.
not being subtle, is like, oh no, don't worry, the barges got sunk.
Oh, you've heard from the guards? I haven't heard they were back yet.
Oh no, they're still about an hour out. We just came from there.
Oh, so you saw the battle. What happened?
Well, there was first there were these like wraiths that came in, these greater wraiths, and they tried to suck the energy out of Daegron over there, but Libby, she's our friend. She just kind of did some magic and made the air explode around them, and I called upon the wandering roads and did some healing to get rid of them. And then there was a big dragon with a knight on top of him.
You speak
Oh,
like
what?
you were fighting there, not just passing through.
Well, yeah.
Libby's going to hide in her hat.
Half drunk Daegron kind of points back towards Vanarel. Yeah, and look at his chest. See that wound there? That was from that.
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy or a performance check.
All right.
From Dezi or Vanarel, whoever wants, or Daegron, whoever wants to be engaged in the boasting and telling of tales. So far, this has all been true, so no need for deception.
I'll try to aid
rolls a
Daegron, I
spell.
think, if it matters.
Libbiel
really,
is,
really big horn.
He's trying to
Libbiel-
aid you, okay?
Yeah, Libbiel-
he's a bit drunk.
is completely
No, I'm
absent
definitely
from
trying
this.
to aid you, Daegron. I can't see your roll, so.
Okay, so yeah, Libbiel is completely invisible while this is going on, but
Or I'll aid whoever's leading.
I
It's
thought it was
Vanarel,
supposed to
that's
be-
fine.
yeah, so at first they didn't quite believe Dezi. Dezi still looks a little too innocent or naive to be accomplishing the things you were claiming. But as Vanarel and Daegron both start adding in their stories, people can believe that you just slain a dragon and fought off barges and all of those things. And drinks are quickly bought for the three of you. And
Oh no, we don't need that. Just
And-
buy your own
Yeah, we
drinks.
do. Just take the drinks, Dezi.
Daegron,
It was a huge
we just
dragon
found
horn.
this cursed plate.
And they're all starting to ask to hear the stories again and again from each of you. You might have little cliques forming around all of you. I don't know if you're individually holding court or as a trio kind of one-upping each other with your tall tales. What would that feel like in here? How would you be approaching a huge throng of people wanting to know more?
I don't think it would be so much he's looking to one up as he's just looking to add on. I think he's not recounting necessarily any of their past with demons, or he's drunk. He's a little drunk, but he's not comfortable talking about that stuff here. But he recounts the battle on the beach and the as they destroyed the barges afterwards. I think he's just kind of like that one semi-drunk to drunk friend keeps hopping in and adding more details whenever Vanarel kind of tells the more factual points of it.
Dezi's confused and thinks they're trying to like make sure our stories check out. So like he's trying to be very factual about what happened and make sure he doesn't get the details wrong.
And Vanarel is definitely playing up the stories, but it's never a story of what I did or this was my thing. It's what we did together. I'm not ever going to boast individually. I'm going to include all of us, and that includes the Elven army that was there also, firing off the not trebuchets, it was catapults.
Yes.
The siege engines. I'm going to play that up as like everyone got together, and this was, all of us fending off this evil that was trying to wash ashore.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like the crowd is eating this up. As I said, they do keep the drinks flowing the whole time. They are bringing more and more stuff to you.
Not going to say no to the drinks either.
So they are bringing more and more stuff to you.
Some meat for their fox because
Yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely
need some extra food.
They will help with that too. You have definitely some of the probably some of the other halfling or gnomes here as well who maybe are feeling intimidated by the size of Daegron and Vanarel, or maybe coming over to you and currying some favor by bringing food for Napquick. And I'm trying to find a picture. Give me 1 second. I wasn't expecting to need this tonight. Where is it?
I think I would probably notice Libby in the corner and just like for purposes of not trying to get them too exposed, like limit how much we're talking her up in specific, just because I don't. She seems to want her privacy right now, and that's fine.
Yeah. I believe. So this individual is currently passing through the tavern and does like pass by Libbiel and say, he just says, "Thank you. I assume you are part of that group, but do not wish attention. I still wish to give my thanks."
It's not a problem, but thank you. Also, do keep it quiet. I don't like being center of attention.
Understood. And he just keeps walking by. That was like, just a 2 or 3 word sentence expression. Doesn't even look like, he made it look like he was just stopping to weave through the chairs a little bit while carrying some food somewhere. Obviously not a server here, so not carrying food in that way. It looks like he had stopped by to pick something up and then left. But seemed like out of everyone else who hasn't been able to notice you or observe you, this person seems to easily see that you were here and can tell that you had a role in this. But you didn't seem to want to talk about it, and he respected that and moved on. As the night grows and I think Daegron and Vanarel might be getting a touch more drunk, it sounds like. How is Dezi handling that? Are you also becoming
Desi's
drunk with them, or are
turning
you?
down the offer for drink. Basically, like it's been a long journey. Desi wants a good night's sleep and some food, and not much more than that. So
And how hard is it to get Daegron and Vanarel out of the tavern?
I don't think it's necessarily super hard, as he or at least for Daegron, has been fighting quite a battle earlier. But I think they stay longer than he planned to, a bit drunker than he planned to be before he's kind of pushed out by Dezi.
Yeah, I think that would be about right. I mean, Vanarel was not planning on, waking up bleary-eyed when, the sun comes up, still face down at the bar or anything like that. This was just a night to just truly let off just a bit of steam, and there's an actual real comfortable bed waiting for him, so he's not gonna stay if others are, giving him that look of like we should go.
All right. So Libby will follow them out, of course.
Yeah. So you retire for the night and wake up the next day to a sound of gentle chimes. Sounds like a doorbell of sorts at your location. It's around, I would say, 10 a.m. So it's not early in the morning.
Should I press the button?
yeah, I think we can open the
wait,
door.
shut
Oh, you mean
button?
the sleeping overnight button? Yeah.
Yeah, you can press
Yeah,
the sleep
I-
overnight button. Yes.
That too.
But when you press the button to open the door, you are met by this individual, Clorinth, she will introduce herself as. Greetings, honored guests. I am Clorinth, the steward of this complex. I will ensure your cottage here remains clean and well stocked for the duration of your stay. Please do your best to keep it in decent condition, though. Is there anything that you need?
Her name was Shorn.
Clorinth.
Or
I'll write that into.
uh, yeah, Corinth. Is there like a safe we can keep some valuables safely hidden?
Oh, yes, Dalamian was asking about that. There is a rather secure safe in the main manor house. I still need to ask the master of the house if we can use it. I was told that you were worried about something that needs to be kept from attention. Um, I will not ask for details. I will say, though, that it is only a secure safe. It has no particular warding against divination or detection magic. Would that suit your purpose if we can get access for you?
Um, I think I'm going to have to keep it on me then. If it's not warded against divination, I think it would be safer if it stays with me.
Understood. I will not ask more details. Dalamian says to meet her at the next hour in the main hall. She has received word from the capital.
Okay.
And then she kind of strides off. You can tell, compared to most others you've seen, she seems a little colder, but you think that's mainly just because she is like
Professional
the head
cold.
servant here, basically, and this is her persona. Um, and maybe doesn't know you enough yet to know if you will make more work or less work for her.
Yeah.
I
So
will-
Libby is the type that'll definitely make more work for her because she leaves the bed into like a nest and walks away from it without trying to make it. Whoops.
Okay, and so with an hour to prep before meeting with Dalamian, is there anything you would want to be doing?
Just my normal daily preparations. I'm going to use my in the school grimoire and to help prepare. So
I assumed it was prepped a bit before this. I think it might be Cleanse Affliction that is the new remove curse. I was gonna prepare 5th and 6th level
Okay,
and see about treating the armor.
sure. Go ahead and give me a counteract check on that.
Start with the 5th level, and then we'll do the higher one if we need it. I don't see an easy way to roll a spell check. So we will just... Oh, there we go. Well, that clearly fails.
Yep, no
So I'll
luck
try
with that
the-
one.
I'll try the 6th level then. Did it roll or no? Sorry, I got disconnected.
I have
before
not
this
seen a
rolled.
second roll. Oh, okay. That will
That's-
do much better. Yes, that will remove the curse from the Grave Knight's armor.
Okay. We
I-
can take care of...
I will
doing
also
transfer
note
stuff.
that
Yeah.
I believe you could also just transfer the runes off without dealing with wearing the armor.
Yeah, but let's not leave the cursed armor lying around. It's not a good idea.
Yep. Okay. So you have removed the curse, and you can deal with this as you see fit. Moving runes, of course, is a 1-day activity if you have crafting for it, or the magic skills for it. Otherwise, you can probably find someone in town who can do it if you need to as well. So the hour passes, and you head to the main estate. Let me just check. I think I actually might have a map for that. No, we don't. Okay. So you will... Oops, what did I just do? So you meet with Dalamian. She says, "Good news. We are to travel tomorrow to the capital for our meeting. It appears that your success here has done all that we had hoped. It has solved one problem, that of the invasion, and, more importantly, quelled the suspicion or the distrust of all of the other nobles. No one wishes to speak out against the saviors of Greengold. I do suggest you might want to shop for the day to... I don't know if you've met with royalty before, but you might need supplies and clothing that you have not needed before in your journeys. I don't want to impose, but you might want something better when you meet with the Queen. It should take us only about a half a day with good horses to reach the capital from here. So tomorrow, I expect we will stay one night in the capital, and then I don't know what will come next. I have heard rumors that we will come back here for something. I'm not sure what yet, though.
Do you have someone who can recommend some clothing? I'm not the best with this.
Oh, I will ask. I'm not from this city. I do not know all the tailors here, but I assume that Clorinth will know all the best in town. However, finding one who can work fast, I don't know if Clorinth will know those, but we will see.
Vanarel would just like take his fingers and run them through his hair, like kind of like like a self comb. It's like I've met with the village elders before. It's going to be a little fancier than that, right?
No.
She
Well,
looks a little
fancier.
pained by that, but is not going to lecture you.
Libby does. No, it's going to be a lot fancier. Come on, we need to get you a nice suit or
Oh.
something.
Okay, I could try a suit.
So
Maybe
Dalamian
something military, like-
will call in Clorinth and will inquire about whatever tailors or dressmakers or gown makers are the type who might have clothes available for same-day tailoring, which is not common in this society, but is occasionally needed. And Clorinth does rattle off a few names with directions. Seems maybe pleased that you are going to be dressed up a little better. You think she might be feeling a little bit like you're not deserving of being in the estate dressed as you are. Dalamian does keep trying to kind of signal her to stop being quite that obvious about her dislike of common garb. And yes, we won't do a long shopping montage, but if you can describe what your characters would look for when trying to become, fancy dressed up attire. What does that mean to each of your characters? Sure, they might steer you a little bit here and there, but really they're leaving it up to you. They still value individual expression. They want this to feel right to you, while at the same time wanting you to get cleaned up. So what does that mean for each of you?
Well, I guess this means I'm going to have to wear sleeves.
Oh, Vanarel.
So for Libbiel, a fancy outfit would probably be just, a nice dress with a shawl over her shoulders. And the shawl probably has some... She might have imposed a little on the tailor and been like, hey, can you do the script you see on Bia on the shawl? And it's like, what? And a big fancy hat, because she's not going anywhere without a witch hat. And if anyone tells her she can't bring Bia, she's like, no, I'm bringing Bia.
No one's mentioned that you can't bring. It seems like that is totally accepted and usual. Animal companions, familiars, everyone understands that's part of society here. They might even be they might even be asking, do you need like a almost like a pet grooming service for Bia?
For the most part, I think Libby handles the grooming for Bia.
Did you hear that, Nakwick? You get to be out. Do you want a little suit? Maybe just some grooming. Dezi will specifically kind of look for clothes that are not super ostentatious, probably more like nice materials and that will be fitting in court, but are also a little more practical and down to earth.
So are we paying for this ourselves?
You will have to choose, yes. You can get the fine clothing, which would be the minimum level that would be needed for this.
And we didn't get paid for the helping out with the defense.
You have not yet. You might get paid at some point. But so fine clothing is 2 gold pieces, which is the minimum level that would be acceptable here. Or high fashion fine clothing would be 55 gold pieces, which would be the fanciest level of things. And if you're wanting like that extra rush job to get the script embroidered on, that probably is pushing into that level.
Yeah, it seems like it. So can I do a little selling to do that then?
Sure.
Or is there any yeah, let's just sell off one of the healing potions I have. Or
Sure.
half.
And how about
I
Daegron? I don't think we've heard from Daegron yet.
I think Daegron will stick with something like slick, but more functional in nature. Maybe something that he doesn't necessarily know the customs around here, but that more military-minded folks might be in. Not necessarily anything denoting ranks or anything like that, but the same kind of garb.
Okay. So besides sleeves, what is Vanarel leaning toward?
So I think Vanarel, when he gets to the shops and speaks with the tailors, it becomes very clear he doesn't know what is going to work, and just sort of says yes and okay and sure, this is fine to whatever suggestions come his way. That said, because I have the money for it and because I think it's funny, he's going to take the high fashion fine clothing, and I think he's going to walk out of these stores looking slick, like 007, this like suave as all get out. I don't know if sunglasses are a thing in this world, but if he had those, like to complete the look, it would be that kind of thing, like the really like sharp looking like blazer over his still kind of like relatively simple shirt, with like the loose fashionable scarf over that kind of thing.
Okay.
Please tell me that he's wearing the expression of a wet cat, though.
It's gonna turn to that very quickly, probably. Yeah.
I think it
Have
started.
you cut off the sleeves?
I think it started off initially feeling like you were going to be proud and a little, overconfident of yourself wearing it, and then
And
that
then he
might.
does not know how to move in it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're hearing Daegron in kind of faux military-esque. We're hearing Vanarel in super slick spyware. Libbiel,
Yep.
I was feeling kind of Kentucky Derby-ish. Is that kind of the right idea?
Kind of just like extremely fancy witch, yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of Kentucky Derby-ish.
Especially if the hat is the centerpiece. And Dezi, can you go over yours again? I don't think I have a mental image of it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking something it's more nicer materials, but has a plainer look to it, and might be more oriented and easier to move and travel in, given
Okay.
that is kind of their patron deity, or patron.
Okay. Please try to remember all these for when it comes up next week. These descriptions will make a difference in some cases. So you have chosen what you look like, and we'll see how that plays out. And
Hey,
then,
if I can give control to my patron
Mhm.
over Bien, does the script actually become the script?
does the script become the script? You mean is it trying to tell you something right now, or are you saying
Or
is
no? Does he like enchant it so that no one can read it?
oh um
Because Bia has that thing where I can
yes.
give control of my patron to Bia,
Mm-hmm.
or control of my Bia to my patron.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
and when okay, so you're asking basically if your patron can sometimes take over and change the script that's written on your dress. Is that what you're asking?
Look, yeah, this is the one. I'll send it
Yeah, I
directly
see it.
to you.
Okay. You're not sure. You haven't
Okay.
seen that happen yet, but
She's
it's
going to try it.
it's possible. Um, very briefly, the dress almost wraps around you and like kind of stops you from moving,
Well,
and then it releases you. But it does look like the patron can influence you through this dress while you're wearing it.
neat. Well,
What type of reaction would
yeah,
you have to having been, briefly caught and unable to move? And you can tell it's your patron doing that.
as long as it doesn't seem like it's harmful, she's going to just assume it's like a hug. Be like, okay, well, that was kind of pleasant. She does not have like a bad relationship with her patron.
Okay. So you've basically got a second familiar in some case. We'll figure out how much of a second familiar it becomes, but the dress is a little bit of a familiar right now. It's maybe we'd call a proto familiar.
Yes, I just was wondering if we can do that for flavor more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed fun.
Any other shopping you want to do? So you've got your fine attire. You still have, you're not leaving until the morning. Is there anything else you'd want to do in town today?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, nothing that comes to mind.
Yeah, in particular.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to buy a fancy bag, I think, for 8 gold to match the dress. Mainly so then she can carry around a certain something.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So, the next day dawns. You finished your shopping, and you you get on some very fast horses and are rushed to the capital, where you are then given some time to, bathe and get into your formal attire before you are told you will be meeting with the Queen shortly at the Queen's Feast, and in gratitude for your saving the town of Greengold from the invasion from Tar-Baphon. And they are definitely blowing it up more and more. Like the invasion has been getting a little larger than you remember it being in the stories that you're hearing from the people who are telling you about this. And you are, let's see, one second. You arrive at the Silver Lantern Garden. There are elven nobles and dignitaries are wandering around beautiful grounds, laughing, listening to music, listening to roaming performers. Glowing silver lanterns float through the lush and verdant gardens, highlighting carefully cultivated paths amid the foliage and illuminating living archways coaxed into interwoven patterns, creating a cascade of shimmering moonlight. Performers wander the grounds, playing a variety of instruments that come in and out of harmony with one another as the wandering players cross paths. All trails lead to the center clearing, where a large feasting table has been set. I think we will stop there for today. We will pick back up next week. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the kickoff session of our third major arc of Unforeseen Heroes, Saviors of the Elves.